Greetings, fellow humans. On this episode of Scott Does His Thing, I want to introduce you to this idea of there's the brain, the mind, and the heart. And those three things work in tandem together. Sometimes they work well together, sometimes they don't. I often find that the brain is this part of you that is, I like to think of it as the biology. It's the survival. It's the thing that really wants to make sure that you succeed. You know, the thing that is like, don't spend those calories unless you're getting more calories. And preserve and hold on and is scared and reserved. And then there's your heart. And your heart is the thing that like keeps on going. It keeps pumping and it wants to do things. It wants to do the thing. It wants to go above and beyond. And then there's the mind, which is the mind is like, that's where kind of you as a person come in, like your thoughts, your emotions, and all that stuff. And if we like use the example of the river and like what I've done with my life, it's like my brain always tells me that it's like, it is not worth going out here and rafting this in a nice rubber boat. Like, it's not worth it. Like right now, especially, it's like freezing cold. It's not going to be a fun time. My heart is like, I love going out here. I love being able to experience this. I love being able to share this experience with other people. And so then it's my mind that has to like do this negotiating of like, okay, we're going to say yes to the heart. We're going to do it, but we're going to make sure that we are prepared and we're going to have the right experience. We're going to have the right gear. You know, in this case, it's like maybe we have a dry suit. Maybe we have long underwear. We have fleece pants. Maybe we have puffy pants. Maybe we have a nice, warm, bulky, fuzzy fleece. And it's really can be a challenge to do that negotiating sometimes. I definitely have many times gone off what I feel like off the deep end, and where it's like I don't have a job, and so then my brain is like, oh my gosh, like we got to figure this out immediately, and like panic, we don't have any money incoming, and my heart is like, you just keep going, like this is what we want to do, here's how we're going to do it. Well, this is what we want to do, is that we want to continue on the path that we are on. And then it's my mind that is like, okay, like I need to do something. I can't just sit here and do nothing, because that is how you make progress. You have to do something. Something is always better than nothing, and how to negotiate that. And then as I continue on, my mind was like, okay, so in order to preserve and keep those like feelings of, oh, I gotta get it done, like I gotta be prepared. It's like, okay, we're gonna save the brain, and we're gonna do the thing, and we're gonna do it. So we're gonna plan ahead, and that's like when that planning ahead happens. That was my mind telling me that we can do it and whatnot. And like, there's always this battle between those three things, where my heart is always like, we're gonna go and we're gonna do this, and it's like has the fire, and then my brain is like, whoa, slow down. It's like, in terms of even what I'm doing right now, of like doing this life coaching thing and helping people get unstuck, helping them find their purpose, give them clarity, and holding them accountable so that they can do what they want to do and have a life that they want to be living, and have a life that you can go out and do whatever it is, whether it's coming out here rafting on this river, or it's going up mountains, it's hiking every day, or if it's just having the ability to travel, whether that's in the US, out of the US, wherever it is, like have a life where you're doing something that's meaningful, having purpose. Like, that's where I come in. But like, my brain is always like, I still have these moments of like, oh crap, like I feel like I'm not doing anything. I'm not making enough, I'm not making enough money. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's some highs, there's some lows, and like, gosh, we need to make sure that we preserve every calorie, and like, how are we going to afford housing in this situation? How are we going to do X, Y, and Z? And it's like, my heart is like, keep going. My mind is like, okay, like, let's just take one step at a time. It's the rationale, the negotiator that says, okay, like, yes, we need to make sure that we are acknowledging that it will take time to do this. No, nothing happens overnight. Well, some things do, but even the things that do happen overnight really didn't happen overnight. And it's important to realize that it takes practice. You know, the only way that I got out on this river, not this river, but any river, I became a raft guide. I've been working with students, working with small humans for the last decade, and that took a lot of commitment. It took a lot of uncertainty of ending a job and then being like, oh crap, I gotta figure out the next job. And then there was moments that I had to like trust that it was happening, and like understand that there was my gut even that came into play occasionally, where I was like, just do this over that, go here, not there. And it's hard to do. It's really hard to do on your own. And when you're stuck and don't know what to do, it's really hard to do something different, because your brain is like, we want to stay safe. We want to make sure that we're doing the things that we got to do to make sure that we stay alive. And as they say, the devil you know is better than the devil that you don't. And it's really important that, you know, to get out of that, sometimes it takes someone else. And again, this is like what I want to do. This is why I take people out in nature, so that you can see nice views and you like get away from this like phone and technology, because I've seen it happen where it's like, you know, if you don't have this device taking up attention, taking up mental brain space, that is somehow signaling that it is the most important thing to all the people around you, all of a sudden things can happen. There's space. There's space for growth. And in order to grow, you need to change. And if you're going to change, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to grow, because you can change something and not grow at all. And it is like my life's purpose at this point to help as many people grow and change and help them with what needs to happen so that their mind is okay. Because your brain is always going to be like there and say, no, we can't do that. Or yes, we need to take the easiest calories, do the easiest thing. We need to save our energy. And your heart is always like, go, do it. You have this thing. And I just want people to be able to live a life worth living. And Gary Vee, he has a video that I saw recently that he's talking to someone who's like feeling overwhelmed. And this is something that I've taken with me from my outdoor education. It's like, you know, when I'm in the front country working with students or working with people, it's like everything's okay. Like, no, I don't have to worry about them eating. I don't have to worry about them drinking. I don't have to worry about their physical condition or their mental condition. In the same way that like when I'm in the backcountry, it's like my full responsibility, and I love having that responsibility. And having that responsibility to impact those people and to care for them as if they were my own. I like joke of like, I don't have any biological kids, but I've had like thousands of kids in my day. Of every time they come into my custody, I like treat them as my own student, my own kid, because if I don't, then I don't give them the best. And the times where I feel like I've fallen flat is when I like didn't treat them as my kid. And I understand now that adults have those kids inside of them, and that we all want to be heard. We all want to feel validated, understood. And that's something that I can do for people, is I'm here to listen and to help you grow. And all it takes is the desire and the commitment, and it takes one step, and then you have somebody with you. And having somebody with you can be the difference between making it and just quitting for the umpteenth time because it was too hard. You did it one time and now it's not a habit, and yada, yada, yada. All the bull that you tell yourself, that society tells you that you have to do, that you want to do, whatever. You have to do, should do, shouldn't do. But it's like, I've been living seasonally for a decade now, made it work, and know that it is impossible to make a lot of things work. And honestly, one thing that I now have realized is that in the moments that I feel like I'm doing something hard that feels impossible, I always am like, yeah, I'm doing that. And someone has done harder. So if you'd like to work with me, I love it. I'll put a link to schedule a call with me. We can work together. Right now, there's 2 packages. One for 6 months, work with me for 6 months, or 3 months if you want to really put the gas on. If you really want to make that commitment, put the gas on. The 3 months or 12 sessions over 3 months is $2,500 as of this recording. And the 6 month one is at $3,000 for those same 12 sessions. So just know that, like, you want someone to back you up, you want someone to support you. I can do that. I listen to kids all the time. I listen to adults the same way. I take the same care. And I want everyone who comes in who wants a better life and is committed to doing that and making the actions to have a better life. And I want to be there to help. That's why I'm on this planet. That's my purpose, is to help people figure things out. And maybe that'll change one day, but right now, that's what it is. So I hope to see you. Hope to work with you. Good luck.